Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled, AI Isn't the Problem, Your Attitude Is. When I spend time online, whether it's reading articles, scrolling through YouTube comment sections, or browsing discussions under social media posts, I notice a recurring theme. Whenever the topic of artificial intelligence comes up, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, Perplexity AI, or any other platform, the comment sections are often filled with negativity. People seem eager to criticize AI, to dismiss it, or to warn others about its dangers. And while I understand that skepticism is natural with any new technology, I find it difficult to grasp the mindset of being so relentlessly negative toward something that is clearly here to stay. The reality is simple. AI is not going anywhere. It is not a passing trend, nor is it a tool that will fade into irrelevance. On the contrary, it is advancing rapidly and embedding itself into nearly every aspect of society. Given that inevitability, I can't help but wonder, why resist it so fiercely? Wouldn't it make more sense to embrace it, or at the very least, learn how to coexist with it? I'm not suggesting that people need to worship AI or defend it at every turn. I'm not saying you have to love it unconditionally or pretend it has no flaws. But outright avoidance, or worse, hostility, doesn't serve anyone well. Because while some people are busy railing against AI, others are learning how to use it, how to benefit from it, and how to adapt to the changes it brings. And those who refuse to engage with it risk being left behind. Personally, I've always been the type of person who tries to make the best of a situation, even if it's not one I particularly like. That mindset applies here as well. Take, for example, someone who dislikes going out in public. Maybe they don't enjoy crowds, or maybe social interactions make them anxious. On the surface, that situation feels negative. But if they reframe it, if they focus on the fact that they're spending time with friends they care about, the experience becomes more bearable, even positive. The same principle applies to AI. You can choose to focus on the negatives, or you can choose to see the opportunities. Complaining endlessly about how AI is horrible or dangerous doesn't change the fact that it exists. It doesn't stop its development. It doesn't prevent its integration into daily life. All it does is make the adjustment harder for the person resisting it. And here's the truth. No one is forcing you to use AI right now, but eventually you won't have much of a choice. It will be built into the tools you already rely on, quietly running in the background, shaping the way services function. In fact, that's already happening. Many people don't even realize how often they use AI in their daily lives. Think about Google. Think about the way search engines refine results, or how predictive text works on your phone. Think about voice assistants that respond when you hold down a button and ask a question. All of that is powered by AI. So when someone claims to be against AI, I can't help but find it ironic, because chances are they're already using it, probably every single day, without even realizing it. That's why I find it so puzzling when people rail against something that is not only inevitable, but already deeply embedded in their routines. It's like trying to avoid pain. Pain is an unavoidable part of life. You can't escape it entirely, and pretending you can only makes things worse. The healthier approach is to accept that pain exists, to learn from it, and to find balance. AI is similar. You don't have to glorify it or treat it as flawless. But rejecting it outright is just as unhealthy as pretending pain doesn't exist. Of course, there are valid concerns about AI. It can be dangerous. It can disrupt industries. It can reshape humanity in ways we don't fully understand yet. The job market, in particular, is a major area of concern. That's a conversation worth having. In fact, it's a conversation I welcome. But it's a separate issue from the blanket negativity I see online. Because while those debates are happening, AI is already being adopted by professors, teachers, government officials, and hiring managers. It's already being used to filter job applications, to assist in classrooms, and to streamline decision-making. It's already here. Even something as simple as spelling and grammar check is powered by AI, and yet, most people don't think twice about using it. They don't stop to consider that they're benefiting from the very thing they claim to oppose. That's why I say, don't be left behind. Find a balanced approach. You don't need to embrace AI blindly, but you also shouldn't reject it entirely, because all the negativity in the world won't change the fact that AI is here to stay. Instead of focusing on fear, why not focus on the positives? Yes, AI has flaws, but so does every technology. So does every human invention. The question is not whether it has negatives, but how we choose to view and use it. If you look for negatives, you'll always find them. But if you look for positives, you'll find those too. And the positives are extraordinary. AI is already helping people walk again. It's being used in the medical field to restore speech to those who are mute. It's helping doctors diagnose illnesses faster and more accurately. It's giving people back parts of their lives they thought were lost forever. Why wouldn't we focus on that? Why wouldn't we celebrate the ways AI can improve lives instead of obsessing over the ways it might disrupt them? Because at the end of the day, the problem isn't AI. The problem is perspective. If you choose to see only the bad, that says more about you than it does about the technology. Artificial intelligence has been around far longer than most people realize. It didn't suddenly appear with the release of ChatGPT in late 2022. It has been quietly shaping technology for years, often in ways people never noticed. So when I see people speaking about AI as if they're experts, while clearly misunderstanding its history and its presence in their own lives, I can't help but think they should be more mindful. Because railing against something you don't fully understand doesn't make you sound wise. It makes you sound unprepared. And in a world where AI is only going to grow more powerful, being unprepared is the real danger. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.